What is up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be going over how Cobalt Blue could end up appearing as a villain on The Flash Season 8. But of course, before we get started, make sure that you guys like, share, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment any other video suggestions for me. Alright, so in the comics, Cobalt Blue is named Malcolm Thawne, and he is basically like a lost brother of Barry Allen. However, I really don't think they're going to say that whoever Cobalt Blue might be is going to be Barry Allen's brother. Now here's the thing, what they could do with Cobalt Blue is they could just introduce Cobalt Blue as a different actor and name him Malcolm Thawne. Obviously, they could just do that. Or the more likely option, and what most of the fans want, is that they'll bring back Eddie Thawne to play Cobalt Blue. Now obviously, his name being Eddie Thawne, he's not comic book accurate, being Malcolm Thawne, but obviously they changed the name of Cicada from David Hirsch to Orland Dwyer, so they can easily do the same thing with Cobalt Blue, and I'm pretty sure that the fans would really like that. And plus, Eddie Thawne really looks like Cobalt Blue from the comics, so it would only make sense. And plus, the actor that played Eddie Thawne even said that he would like to come back and play a villain on The Flash, which would just be awesome to see him as Cobalt Blue. For Season 8, Eric Wallace was talking about, in a recent interview, he said that it's going to take one of the greatest love stories between Barry and Iris to get past this threat that's going to be coming up soon, specifically in the back half of the season. And obviously, Eddie Thawne returning would definitely come between Barry and Iris' marriage, so I think that would be a really, really good storyline. Plus, with all the different rumors of Red Death coming in Season 8 as well, Eddie Thawne returning Red Death and everything else that's going to happen in Season 8, this could be a pretty good season. Okay, now assuming that Cobalt Blue will end up being Eddie Thawne, how exactly can Eddie Thawne be alive? Now, I guess it is possible that, you know, maybe Eddie Thawne, like, killing himself, that he just, like, didn't actually die. He just, like, went through the wormhole and went to Earth 2. But obviously that really wouldn't explain how, you know, then Reverse Flash was erased from existence. However, it does explain during Crisis on Earth X why Reverse Flash he just returns, bam, he's back. And, you know, his excuse for being back is just time travel. That's literally all he said. So what if this time travel that he was talking about, it was him saving Eddie Thawne from dying? I think that would be pretty interesting. Yet there still is one flaw with that. So here, let me put it in perspective for you guys. So the Reverse Flash that was erased from existence, that was like the Reverse Flash, right? Then we see Reverse Flash return in Season 2, Episode 11, and that Reverse Flash is a Reverse Flash that has not yet gone back in time and killed Barry's mother, so he has not yet been erased from existence. And then the Reverse Flash that we see in Flashpoint, who eventually goes on to Legends of Tomorrow Season 2, that Reverse Flash was pulled from the timeline where he was originally about to kill Barry's mother and all that stuff. And then after he kills he's returned to the timeline after Flashpoint, then he kills Barry's mother and then brings Barry back to his time, but then he goes off on to Legends of Tomorrow Season 2, hunted by the Black Flash, who eventually kills him, quote-unquote kills him, and just returns him to the timeline. So then, with that being said, how could Reverse Flash from Crisis on Earth X, how exactly could he be alive to, you know, time travel back and stop Eddie Thawne from killing himself? I don't understand how that's possible, but here's the thing. What if, I recall in Season 2, Episode 11, where Thawne says that he says, oh, I must have gotten stuck here once before and not been able to access the Speed Force. What if this is him realizing that his plan must have failed? He must have failed his plan, so he time travels and stops Eddie Thawne from killing himself. I definitely think that is a lot more possible. Obviously, that's just a huge theory of how this Reverse Flash could still be here, but yeah, that's just, you know, eventually whenever Eddie Thawne comes, if that does have something else to do with the Reverse Flash, I definitely think that, you know, they would definitely explain exactly how all of that happened. So anyways, let's say Eddie Thawne, again, is, you know, saved by Reverse Flash, who time travels back to when he was erased from existence and stops Eddie Thawne from killing himself, or at least saves him before he dies. So let's say, you know, then Reverse Flash takes Eddie to, I don't know, a different Earth at that time, or, you know, maybe back to Thawne's time or something like that. And basically what my theory is that Reverse Flash, like, sort of turns Eddie into a speedster and turns him into a villain. I guess you could say, maybe, you know, whether that be, you know, creating the Speed Force within Eddie, like, you know, how Thawne created Speed for himself in the future. Maybe he did that to Eddie, or maybe he, like, made Eddie be contaminated by the negative Speed Force or something like that. I think that would definitely be possible. And obviously, it would be really cool to see, you know, two Thawnes teaming up, of course. You'd have the Reverse Flash, Eddie Thawne, and Cobalt Blue, Eddie Thawne. That would be really cool to see, like, at least one episode where Barry goes up against both of them. I think that'd be awesome. But yeah, if Eddie were ever to become a villain being Cobalt Blue, I think that his motivation for being a villain would be pretty reasonable. Like, obviously, Barry stole Iris from him. I think that'd be a pretty good storyline. Or maybe, like, the negative Speed Force turned him even more, so he's just a pure villain. I think that'd honestly be really cool to see. It'd be a great emotional villain on the show. You know, seeing as how Barry and Eddie used to be very good friends, and then now Eddie's just one of Barry's biggest enemies, I think that'd be a really cool storyline to see on The Flash Season 8. Or an even more interesting storyline, what if at first Eddie returns and he's still the same guy he was? What if he returns and he's still a good guy? But then obviously eventually he goes on to become this villain being Cobalt Blue. I think that would be a really interesting storyline, you know, Barry like reuniting with Eddie and then eventually going on to become a villain. I think that would be great to see in Season 8. So yeah, guys, I'd say that, you know, everything's basically pointed in the right direction for Eddie Thawne to return as Cobalt Blue. You know, Eric Wallace, the showrunner, he's kind of teasing it a little bit. And, you know, Eddie Thawne, the actor that played him, said he wants to come back. So it's looking pretty good. Well, at least if we don't get Eddie Thawne, we will most likely get a Cobalt Blue sometime in the future of The Flash. And then, of course, you know, other villains should hopefully appear like Red Death. So hopefully we see some of these things happen in Season 8, which should be a step up from Season 7. But anyways, I'd say that's about it, guys. Thanks for watching. Make sure to comment your thoughts on this video down below, as well as your thoughts on if you guys think Eddie Thawne will return sometime as Cobalt Blue, and, you know, what other villains might appear in Season 8. And, yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.